Okay, welcome back. So in this module, we're working on simplifying rational expressions, which is code word for reducing fractions. And we know when we're dealing with fractions, the fraction bar means division. So we're doing division by using the greatest common factor. Now, I'm going to tell you this right now. Right now we're working on rational expressions that contain monomials. One term connected by multiplication, one term connected by multiplication. You guys have already done this in the previous modules. Remember when we talked about division of monomial expressions? That's this. It's the same thing. I'm just giving it a different name. Back a long time ago, we said this was division of monomials because that's what the bar means, division. Now we're making sure you understand that these are really algebraic fractions. So the rule is to divide, you need to be connected by multiplication. Because these are monomials, we are connected by multiplication. Now, a lot of this is brain work. And that's where there's no work to show. You have to know what you're doing. So you have to talk to yourself and talk it out. I want the greatest common factor. So first I start with our coefficients 72 and 54. What is the greatest amount I can divide 72 and 54 by? So we need to know our times tables. To deal with fractions, because you're dealing with division, your times tables facts are so important. 72 I know is 8 times 9, and 54 is 9 times 6. So they both have a common factor of 9. Now I can do this in my head. What is 72 divided by 9? Well, that's 8. What is 54 divided by 9? That's 6. Now, was that truly the greatest common factor? 9. No, it wasn't, because 8 and 6 are both even, and they can be divided again by a common factor of 2. So if I divide 8 by 2, I get 4. And if I divide 6 by 2, I get 3. And that gives me 4/3. Is 4/3 in lowest terms? Yes. They only have in common the factor of 1. Now, I did not use the greatest common factor because I did it like you guys would. You would probably do that in 2 steps. The greatest common factor of 72 and 54 would have been 18. If you would have did 72 divided by 18, you would have got 4. And if you would have did 54 divided by 18, you would have got 3. It is okay if you do it in 2 steps, as long as the directions don't say, tell me what the greatest common factor is. If your directions say, what is the greatest common factor of 72 and 54, and you say 9, you're wrong, because we had to reduce again. Because then we had to divide by 2. So 9 times 2 was 18. But now we got it in the lowest terms. So we have a 4 in the numerator, a 3 in the denominator. Now when we do variables, we know when we divide variables, we subtract exponents, and our answer, our quotient, goes where the larger amount was. So what is a squared divided by a to the first? Well, that's an a. Where do we put it? We put it in the numerator because there were more a's there. What is b divided by b? Well, we've talked about this. When you divide the same letter, it's like dividing the same number. It makes a 1. It cancels out. So b divided by b is 1. The reason why we don't write the 1 is everything up here is connected by multiplication. And 1 times anything is going to stay the same. C divided by c to the 5th. Well, we have 1c in the numerator and 5 c's in the denominator. 1 and 5, if you subtract, makes 4. Where would you put those 4 c's? You'd put them in the bottom because that's where they're more are. So this fraction simplifies to be 4a divided by 3c to the 4th. We've already done this when we talked about division of monomials. Now we're just saying these are called rational expressions. Here's the most obvious one we always make a mistake on. We have the negative sign in front, and it's 6x divided by 6x. And in my 25 years of teaching, I am not joking, I've seen this done before. Oh, dividing something by itself. The answer is negative. Can you just leave me a negative symbol hanging there? No, there's got to be a number. You don't put a sign, positive or negative, unless there's a number with it. So what do we know about 6x divided by 6x? We know any term divided by itself is a 1. So this expression reduces to negative 1. Okay, I'm going to see you in the next video where we start doing polynomials.